What is happening, guys? I'm excited to sit down and talk about this little thing that's come up over the week. But Ollie Davis has just signed with Santa Cruz Syndicate, and I couldn't be more pumped. Now, you know when you see good things happen to good people and you feel really good, and then to know that you've played a little role and a little bit of a push in the direction of that happening, it feels good. It feels really good. And I think this is a perfect example of helping people achieve their goals for no other reason that it feels good in your soul. Like, as deep in your soul as you can feel good, this is the stuff that does make it feel good. So he actually called me the day before it was announced, and you could just hear in his voice how excited he was and how happy he was that this kind of came about. Now, he obviously signed with the Commensal Schwalbe, and he said he was enjoying it, but it was definitely a big change. He obviously came from the Union, which was with his War brothers, Benny and Ollie, and it's a big shift to go to a European team where not everyone speaks English, where you're away for a lot of the year, where the culture's different, where the food is different, and where the all-round kind of atmosphere and vibe is a lot different. So I think he was struggling with the change and just being on a more European team. So he got the call up. Obviously, Jackson Goldstone's injured himself at hardline, and he's going to be out for a little bit longer than he expected. And I think they wanted an extra rider anyway. I don't think they just wanted to have Laurie and Nina. I think they wanted to have a second elite male rider as well. So Ollie obviously has been on a Santa Cruz in the past, and he built a relationship when he was on that kind of B team to them with the Union. So he had good relations with the Santa Cruz people and the Syndicate as well. So I think it was kind of a perfect fit for him. And yeah, it's pretty cool to think where he's come from and now where he's gone in such a short amount of time. But I was thinking the other day, when I used to go to his house in the morning, I'd go train at the gym near where he lived, and then after the gym I'd go to his house when he was getting up to go to school. And I remember one time being in the kitchen with him and his mum and his brother, and he was pretty adamant that he didn't want to go to school. I remember his mum joking around saying, well, you better ride your bike fast and then you can just get paid to do that. And to think about where he's come since then to now, getting top 10 results in the World Cups, carrying himself the way he does and being the person that he's kind of turned into, it's really cool to have played a role in his career and his life in that way. So it's still feels like a bit of a trip that it's come this far this quickly, and it's almost a funny thing that he's signed a professional deal the year that I retired. So it's like the people that you help in that way can carry on, I guess, your legacy or your wisdom in a way, and then share it with others. So this has been it's been very cool to watch. I had this weird kind of realization that at the end of 2019 I was having quite a good year. And after the World Champs in Mont Saint Anne, where I crashed, I remember I went to an after party where the Syndicate was staying, and I was chatting with Rob Roscott, Scotty, and Greg, and we were kind of talking about what I was doing the year after. And I was obviously signed up with Scott for another year, but I think the idea of riding for the Syndicate has always been such a sought after position to go to, and it was just even cool the consideration that might have been an option. Now, obviously, COVID happened and it all didn't go that way. But the fact that it's like when your dreams don't come true or your goals don't come true, the next best thing is helping someone else achieve theirs. So to see it come around and then Ollie get on the team. And also the funny thing that I find really funny is that back in about I think it was around 2019, me and Charlie Harrison would always call Greg Dad, just because he was obviously his age and kind of a dad to us all in the mountain biking world. So we'd always yell at Dad as he rode past. And then I kind of called Ollie my fake son. So it's kind of funny how my fake son has taken the place of my fake dad on the Syndicate. So it's it's weird how this world and your life works out and how things come up. And I think if you told Ollie that he'd be riding on one of the best, if not the best, teams on the World Cup circuit a few years into his career, I don't think he would believe you. So it just shows you not to give up. He went through some struggle with injury over the last few years, and then he's really starting to come back to form. Obviously, this year just gone. And now I think he's got all the tools and opportunity to really make something of this. The Santa Cruz Syndicate, they haven't had an Aussie rider since Nathan Rennie, so to put your name in that hat of people that have been on that team, you look, they've had Greg, they've had Loris, they've had Luca, they've got Laurie now, they've got Nina, and they've had Greg. Like, everyone that they seem to put on that team seems to perform at the highest levels. So it's kind of what came first, the chicken or the egg kind of scenario. But I think they pick champions, but they also create champions, and they help champions maintain that status through how they run that team and the environment they build on that team. So I'm more than proud of seeing him join that, and I'm so excited to see what he does with that moving forward. A little bit sad I'm not going to be at the World Cups just to see him compete. Also, Zach Bradley's going over there riding for Ride High Country. He's another kid that I've helped out in the past. So that was one of the biggest things about not competing this year, was not so much for myself, but not seeing these younger kids come up and really find their feet and see what they can do in the sport. So definitely going to be watching from afar. Definitely going to be eyes peeled on those two guys and see what they can pull off this year. But yeah, I think this is just a perfect example of just help people when you can, and it will give you a deeper level of fulfillment than I think you even could ever imagine. I think as long as you're doing things for the right reason and around the right people and helping them achieve their goals, that's where you will find your true level of fulfillment. That's where you will feel like you are on the right path and you are doing the right things with the right people. Because to see that and hear that, like I said, it hits you in the soul. It hits you in the soul and the heart, and it just feels good. It feels good to have believed in him, and then see that belief really transform into reality and into his future that he's already been creating and is going to create. So yeah, hats off to Ol. I told him as well, I did a post and I said, you didn't just get this ride for how you ride a bike, but you got it from how you carry yourself, for how you show up day to day. People see that. People are attracted to that, and people want to be around it. So don't just focus so hard on, you can ride a bike fast, you can do some whips, and you can get some good photos. Like, how do you show up as an athlete? How do you show up to your sponsors? How do you show up to people that aren't your sponsors? How do you show up to your fans? How do you carry yourself in day to day? Do you say please? Do you say thank you? Are you polite? Those all matter. When you are trying to get on a race team, or just trying to get a sponsor, or trying to be liked by fans, how you show up in day-to-day life, in little interactions from people that have nothing to offer you besides maybe a smile and a photo, how you show up to them is what will get you the ride. Obviously, you need the results in there, but the people that you see will maintain a good long career. They're very time aware of giving their time to the right people and being their best true self, no matter what the situation, no matter if they just crashed in their race run, no matter if everything's going wrong, they can still show up and be a decent person and be good to the people around them, no matter what. So that's definitely something I've seen Ollie do, and you kind of, when you see these good things start happening like that, there's a reason. So definitely over the moon about that. It's a very last minute team change, and I believe Anton Pirion is now taking his spot at Commensal Schwalbe. So it's kind of a door closes, the door opens. So it's cool to see him get a good ride as well. He's slowly finding his feet over the last few years. A lot of these up and coming guys are really going to be finding their feet in the near future, and kind of their speed's going to be coming through. So it's cool to see the kind of changing of the guard in a way, but also it'll be interesting to see how long Jackson is actually out for. And when he does come back, where he'll be, whether he'll be still fighting that injury or whether he'll be up to race speed again pretty quickly. So it's going to be an interesting thing come Fort William. It's not far off now. Definitely not as bummed that that's the first race of the season. I'm going to be happy to miss that one. And might even do a live commentary. I might try and set up a thing where I can live stream commentary on the race and maybe sit down with someone in the mountain biking world, and yeah, we can have a bit of a laugh and a chat while we watch the racing, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, just want to get on here, touch base with that, and congratulate Ollie for getting a kind of dream ride. And now it's going to be interesting to see what he does with it, but I'm excited to watch, and I hope you guys are as well. But let me know in the comments as well, who are you most excited about seeing race this year? Who's your standout, and who do you want to see do well? I want to know, and I want to kind of touch on, the different riders. I'm going to do another team review because I missed a few people in the last one, so I'm going to do that as well soon. And give our 2 cents on a few of the up-and-coming riders and a few of the established ones that I didn't touch on in the last video, so stay tuned. See you guys.